Queen, NEEN, Philly shit, sexy shit. Let's go. Here she come. I'm sitting pretty, getting it. Queen ain't about her dividends. Straight to the point, I hate a bitch. Ain't on me cause I'm winning. Young shit, step your brain up. Stop sucking dick, step your brain up. Closed mouths don't get fed, but if you close your lips, you're more dangerous. Paper chasing full speed ahead. Yeah, I'm hungry, I eat the bread. Hating on me, what the problem is. I love a challenge, I solve it quick. This what a queen should feel like. Down the queendom, real tight. Play no games, I won't say no names, but the niggas know you little lame. Like what you looking for, I got what you need. That good can take you there. I call her Molly, hook it up, break it down. You know I got that recipe. Keep calm, nigga, slow your roll. If you ain't got a check, then don't check for me. I jump in the whip, I jump and hop out. I make them scream, I make them shout. Here come the queen, baby. Here come the queen, baby. Here come the queen, baby. Here come the queen, yeah. Jump in the whip and hop out. I make them scream, I make them shout. Here come the already know what it is. Queen, baby. Here come the queen, baby. Hey. Crystal clear thoughts with your girl, Queen NEEN. You already know I'm my own drummer. I'm my own drummer. And we already know we're live in AYEE, a radio station here in Philadelphia. Let's go. Shout out to Philly, the GOAT, the OG of the game. Thank you for letting me do this once again on a Thursday. And I got some special guests in the building. These people, remember that day I had that cup and I was sipping on it real hard in the show. And I was like, this is really, really good. Somebody made it for me out the plant. My homegirl Nia did that. But I got her and her main man, the chef, Chef Trey, Nia. They are in the building. They they delve in a little bit of the medicinal eateries for you guys. I don't want to get too, overrated on a radio station, but they help you out. And this man can cook, and he infuses his food with cannabis, and it's very delicious, if I might say.
Thank you.
It's very, very delicious. It's a lot of love in this food, and they make drinks. Shout out to my lemonade, be lit. They do it all. They do it all, and they make me feel good. And when I see them, I always got to say something, even if I'm not buying something. I got to talk to them and let them know. And we're birthday twins. Yes, we're April babies. Come on, man. How real is that? But I want to give a shout out to y'all, and I'm thankful that y'all came to the radio station, especially, it's raining outside. A lot of people was canceling their events. They like, we're not doing anything out here in these streets because it's about to be a tornado. And I'm like, I don't care about no tornado. I like getting wet. Let the tornado hit because I'm going to go do what I got to do, and that's at the radio station. But I shout out to y'all for coming through.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. I know that. Yes, and that definitely helps. I just want to say, fuck COVID. I just wish this hurry up, it ends already. And I'm going to continue the show with, hey, guys.
Hello.
How are we doing today?
We're doing great.
So I just kind of gave a brief description. I'm a little elated that y'all are here, but yes. Can y'all tell the people what y'all getting into and what Unique Treats are all about?
Most definitely give you a little background. Unique Sweets.
Unique Sweets. We've
been existing now in Philadelphia for 4 years. I started this company after being a chef for 25 years in the city. I worked at all the top restaurants everywhere from Palm to Maggiano's, Chart House, Cuba Libre. I've been trained to cook 6 different cuisines. I had back surgery, was out for work for a while, and decided not to go back into the restaurant field and start my own company.
Right.
So I noticed that the medicinal foods were becoming extremely popular, and it was averaged out to be a $2.5 billion industry.
Wow.
So it's something that I said that I definitely wanted to get into.
I want to be a part of that.
I had to be a part of that. So we were probably one of the second or third pioneers in the city. There was a couple of brothers doing this before me. I can't say I'm the one that, that started this. But after seeing them do this, I said, let me hop on this early.
I deserve to be a part of this.
Yeah, I wanted to be a part of this. And, our niche is that everything we do other than our candies are homemade. I do everything from scratch.
Yes.
I use the knowledge from working in these restaurants, to produce these recipes that are effective. And also what's important is that you cannot taste our special ingredients
in it.
You know what I mean? Which is extremely important.
It's definitely important.
In this field that we're in right now, it's probably more healthier. People are starting to see to consume it versus to smoke it. So especially with the older people, and then you're starting to see a lot of people with pain problems and things of that nature who doesn't like to take pharmaceuticals, then you can go to natural routes such as our products.
Yes. Yeah, shout out to the products. Shout out. And the first time I ever got something from you was a brownie, because that's my favorite thing to eat. If anybody knows, I love me a good brownie, especially if they're moist and delicious. And for my birthday, even this year for my birthday, I came in here with I had that brownie, but I savored that brownie forever. Like I had that brownie for a week. I was like not trying to eat it. It was just that little piece. I was like, damn, I should have just got a whole brownie. But it is really good to, have those kind of snacks you like and still be able to indulge into what you like. You understand? Yeah. So that for me, it's really good. And plus, it's a body thing.
Yes.
It's a relaxation. It's a more of keeping your mind at ease, and you're not being too over medicated. Over medicated.
I definitely see what you're talking about. I feel like for me, the company was started by the chef, and me coming in a little newer in the last 2 years and seeing how it's grown. One thing that the chef does that I don't see out here is taking his food knowledge, taking that home cooked mac and cheese, and infusing that thing
with your favorite treat
and our favorite ingredient, and it's a totally different experience.
It definitely is.
Funny how our special ingredient is associated with like young kids and be responsible for that third, but it's crazy how many of our customers are in the older generation who enjoy our meals.
They are the ones who actually like it the most.
That we produce almost every weekend.
Yes.
7 different cuisines that he cooks, so we produce almost every weekend.
Yeah, and if you want the chef to cater or to do a private event for you, please hit him up on Unique Sweets.
At Chef Unique Sweets.
Yeah, at Chef Unique Sweets.
Chef Unique Sweets. That's CHEFUNIQUE. SWEETS.
Okay. It hit her. She knows she got it.
Absolutely. There's also Instagram, as well as on the weekends when we actually cater and cook these meals. Our page is Chef Trey's Hot Box Kitchen.
Oh wow.
And Chef Trey's Hot Box Kitchen, because guess what? Our kitchen is hot, and if
I
you
can
can't
believe
stand the
it.
heat,
Get it out
me,
the
I
kitchen.
cannot stand the heat. I say about that kitchen. Hear me?
Get out the kitchen.
Yeah, so every weekend, what we do is we put out a menu Thursday, and then we execute a menu Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and that menu rotates. So I do everything from Louisiana to Cuban to Spanish to Mexican to Jamaican.
Okay.
Because that's another thing that I think that's important, is that to introduce our people to different cuisines, especially all these cuisines we initially started.
Well, that was going to be my my question next, because usually at the end of my shows, I do a crystal clear thought of everything I talked about. But when I have a guest, I like them to give me a crystal clear thought on what it is that they're, what it is that they are giving to the people, or whatever they're, selling, or, giving out, or, trying to receive. I always want, so give me a crystal clear thought on what Chef Trey's Unique Sweets. I want you to give me a crystal clear thought on what this business does for our people.
Oh, that's very important. So what Unique Sweets and Above Beyond Catering and Chef Trey's Hot Box does for the community is, at least twice a year, I do an annual cookout where I just cook and give away free food.
Dope.
During this COVID, actually, I put on our webpage that when Christmas came around, any family that needed any help with any Christmas gifts, anonymously can come on my page, contact me, and I will go buy Christmas gifts for their children.
Right.
And then the next thing we did was also when people were having trouble. It's before we started the government started issuing these checks.
The pandemic checks.
Because it was like 2 months when people were really struggling. I was actually giving food away. You get in contact with me, I will feed your family and give platters away for free. But to me, food is a gift to give.
Yes, it is.
So I constantly give back to the community, because if it wasn't for the community, it would be no unique sweets.
I know that's right. And shout out to that, because that's definitely from the heart, because, you know, here at A Radio Philly, every Saturday, Philly has been giving back to the community. I mean, boxes of food. And it was so dope to be a part of it, because, you know, you never know how many people are out there really starving to death, or really not, or really afraid to ask somebody, can you help me eat? You know, it's hard. They say, you know, so a lot of people are too proud to beg, but it shouldn't be that way. You shouldn't be too proud to ask for help. And for me, I believe that that's always the given when you can feed a community. So shout out to that. So I want to get, you know, let's get the drums on that. So today's show, I wanted to really delve into partnerships and relationships. And I'm glad that you guys are here, because y'all are showing a definition of how a couple together can actually work together and create an atmosphere where you can build a business, do things that you love to do, and promote love for each other through the whole situation. And that's something that's big in my life. Like, you know, I'm in a relationship, and, you know, a lot of people don't understand the dynamic of the relationship because they looking at it from the outside in. But this person uplifts me. He makes me feel like the queen that I am. When I get dressed and shit, you know, I usually try to see, I'm a shit on people, but no, I get dressed because I'm like, I feel good. I want to wear this today because I feel like this. So he gave me kind of like a confidence boost in who I was as a woman, and it made me flourish into what I'm doing today, you know. So I want to give a shout out to those kind of relationships, because they work in our favor, especially in our community. You know, the black man and the black woman, they say don't stay together, or, you know, just black people in general in their relationships, we don't last. And it's unfair because we do last. You just gotta go through it to get to it, right?
Yes, black love still exists.
Right, come on. So let them know black love exists.
Black love still exists and will always exist.
So give me a day in the life of being in the kitchen with you two guys, making a meal from scratch.
You know, what's funny is that you know, relationships are funny because they're personal definitions. Your relationship and your wants and needs are different from another person's relationship and wants and needs.
Right.
You know, my relationship and definition of relationship is have my partner walk alongside me. We say it all the time, is that we both have flaws, and I think your partner is supposed to keep your flaws.
Compliment them.
Compliment your flaws. You understand what I'm saying? And it's funny because
and hold them dear to their hearts, and not, you know, expose that to the world. Exactly. Because that's why you decide to be with a person, because you have that trust and loyalty from that person. I get that. Yes. That's dope.
Yes. And then it's the business wise, you know, when we first started dating, obviously you can see I have multiple businesses. Right. And I knew I had to have someone in my corner that was acceptable to that, willing to join in on that and willing to support me in doing that. Not just as far as just accepting the monetary end of it, right, but as far as getting in and getting your hands
dirty a little bit.
Because you have to understand this is our money now, and this is how we're going to grow. So when you have that part, understanding the relationship, it kind of can, you know,
make things smooth, baby. It's not like a smooth ass relationship, because people think that relationships gotta be rocky, and I'm like, no, they don't. No. I've seen people be together for 80,000 fucking years. You can't tell me that relationships. I've seen older people they don't even scream at each other. They just, hey baby, you know, they woo each other. They still, you know, I've seen those relationships, so I know that that's not a true fact that relationships gotta be rocky. No, you learn from rocky rocky ass relationship so that when you get in the one you want to be in, it's smooth.
As well as being the first people, we were the first relationship.
Exactly.
We were the first couple. We were the first marriage. The first marriage that worked.
The first
so at, you know what I mean? We have to remember that as
yes.
well. At the,
yes.
And it's funny that we can talk about that because the reason why a lot of relationships with African Americans don't work is because we wasn't really taught to love.
Right.
And as Black men, we weren't taught to love. And in our society right now, to show love is a sign of weakness, which is sad.
Wow.
And I heard 2 Black men say, you know what you love your girl? It kind of punk of you to love your girl. So when you stop accepting love and you only have hate, this is why we have a lot of self-hate and violence in our race.
Yep.
We have to be able to accept love.
Yep.
And it's funny because when we're together, we'll hold hands if we're on an island,
right?
You know, another state,
right?
Another country,
right?
If we walking out 52nd Street, don't be trying to hold my hand. It's a sign of weakness. Now that's strange, right? She'll tell you I said that. You know, in the hood, you rarely see a man walk
with his woman hand by hand,
show affection,
right?
You understand what I'm saying? So, and that shows you how our society is. And it's sad. We should be able to show love any.
You should be able to show your love as much as possible because love is the higher power, which is my motto. I live by that. Love has gotten me out of situations where I started to love myself more. That made me more aware of the things I wanted to love me or wanted to share with. Like, if I'm going to give this part of me, I love me enough to know this is what I want and I won't settle for this. Exactly. You know what I mean? But it takes a real sacrifice to love yourself because you'll allow other motherfuckers to stop you from being who you need to be. Yes. And we know that because we are around people all the time. And being a bartender, it's really hard to disassociate myself with people because my empathy for them is like, yo, I get it, I understand, or I know because I've been doing it for so long. I know these stories.
Yeah, you're almost like a counselor.
Yeah, basically. And I have my, bachelor's in social sciences. So I kind of went that field. So I'm kind of actually okay with it.
You get a 2 for 1.
Boom, you get a bartender and a psych.
I had someone say something to me at a young age that stuck with me. And what they told me is the person that you're with is a reflection of you.
A mirror.
So if you like a hardcore gangster type, then let me tell you something, that's a reflection.
That's the reflection of you.
If you want a business type that's making money and want to be successful, that's
a reflection of you. Yes, that is.
So, and I held that always as a standard.
That's part of my standard.
That's why I don't have any children out of wedlock. And that's why I believe in relationships because the person you're with is a reflection of you. And if you hold that to yourself, you'll find out your relationships will be more successful.
Oh, definitely. Oh my goodness. That was the before the pandemic hit, that's what I was going through. I wanted to be in a relationship that was going to be meaningful in my life. So I said, fuck relationships. I'm not going to be in one then. So I let them go. And when I stopped searching for it, the person that I'm with came out of nowhere and he reflects. He was reflecting my inner me. And now I'm reflecting what it is I've always knew that I was. And that was the queen. How, like I say every show, how do I call myself Queen NEEN and not reflect that? So that means that anybody in my reflection has to be a king.
Exactly. Well, that's
that mind frame, because people are like king and queen. What the fuck?
No.
That
a king. A king. As a black man being a king, okay, it is a mind frame. It is a person being, but it's not. Oh, I'm trying to be better than you. It's not. I'm trying to look down on you. That's not what people. That's the assumption. Yeah, you know what I mean. But it's not. It's the standard in which I'm holding myself to. Yes. To hold yourself to a standard of a queen, which means you're going to carry yourself as such. Correct. So therefore, if you guys walk hand in hand, that means you guys should look good together. You look like money, y'all look like y'all carry well. That's a good reflection on you and your family and your backing. That says nothing about, you know what I mean, people assume.
Exactly,
Yeah,
because you assume you make an ass out of you, not me. Let me tell you, I'm one of those people that like I become very shell, like I become a hermit if I feel like it's too much for me. So I knew that I needed a person to uplift that part about me. Not to say I needed that person to uplift that part about me, but I needed somebody to be in my corner on that part.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to say I go outside myself to look for these things to help me, because everybody needs a little bit of help. Like
absolutely.
Everybody
But that's the
needs
thing.
that push.
That's the part of that give and take of that relationship. Realistically, when you look for that king, you want that person that's going to give you what you're lacking. That's gonna be there that's gonna fill that peace that you need. You know what I mean? Realistically, a relationship is a give and take. It has to be some type of I won't say profit of it, but profit. You gotta get something from it. You're not just going to be in a relationship for nothing, in my opinion. So,
period.
Whether that's emotional, whether it's physical, financial, whatever it is, you know what I mean. It's that little piece that helps you be a little bit more. I won't say complete, but a little bit better. It'll help you be a little better than where you was.
Here's how I can stand up. I've been calling myself a king probably since I started doing African studies when I was about 17. Because we're all our descendants of kings and queens.
Yep.
And when you call yourself a particular thing, then you have the responsibility to hold yourself to that. If you want to call yourself a nigga every day, then that's how you're going to be portrayed, and that's how you're going to reflect. You can call yourself an intelligent black man every day, then hopefully that's what you are. So a title is very important. I don't call myself a king publicly. I have a tag that I call myself King Bull because I'm a Taurus.
All day, bop. Crazy.
But it's the acknowledgement that I'm descended from kings, thus as you portray yourself as one.
Period. And I think that if we all had a way of knowing who we were or who we are,
absolutely,
you would definitely call yourself a king or a queen.
Yeah.
And one thing I was watching, like I say, I watch all of these conspiracy theory shows or whatever, but the one thing that I acknowledge about people is they're afraid to acknowledge it, that they have the God, that light in them. And that is a problem for me, because it's like, how could you not, if you are created from the source? If you're created from a source, that means you're connected to that source. That means you're part of it. That means that whatever is connected is a part of you. So you can claim
some of that power.
You can claim that of which you come from. So for me, if I'm saying I'm a goddess or I'm a queen or I am these things, I expect people to realize that I'm claiming these things for myself. I don't care if you don't believe what I believe about me.
It's not for you to believe.
And that goes into having a relationship with somebody. I need that person to care about it, and that's it. I need those people that say they love you and they care so much. They have to show it by giving you compassion for who you say you are today and what you say this is me, this is what I'm standing on. If you really are on a team, you say, well, fuck it. That's what you're standing on. Do that shit. Not, oh man, Now, if you see something that's a red flag and you can see it before they could see it, yeah, you give them the advice, but you never stop somebody from their journey because they got to learn. Some people can catch it. If it's a brick wall, you're like, yo, dog, the brick wall coming. You ain't got to be like, yo, man, don't you go to that fucking wall. It's gonna be. Once you do that, you scaring them. They're going to still go hit the wall. But if you give them an opportunity to listen to you and understand your constructive criticism about this brick wall that's coming, they might say, you know what? I ain't going to go ahead and hit that fucking wall. It's the way we deliver into the people we say we care about. And relationships aren't just me and my man. It's your friendships, partnerships, business relationships, family. All of those relationships, they have to come with some type of love and respect. And people always say, oh, no, business shouldn't be like that. That's why a lot of businesses don't succeed, because there's no fucking love at the foundation. Everybody has to be on one accord. Like, yo, let's go get this one pot. We're going for the one pot. Then everybody has to put to the path. Everybody has to put, but everybody's going on their own journey.
It's a long journey. The problem with our people is we expect instant gratification.
Yep. Boom.
We get a restaurant.
Tauruses love instant gratification, by the way.
We can care less about the quality. We can care less about customer service. How much did I make that week? And it goes beyond that. It goes beyond that. It goes beyond that. It goes with quality, customer service, how you treat people.
Yes.
Consistency.
Listen.
I mean, if you open at 10 and I expect you to be open at 10, you know, if you're closed every Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, I don't even know when you're open and when I'm supposed to go. People eat 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you have to have
consistency
and professionalism.
Yes, that's
which
all.
is very important with us.
Especially when you're doing it, when you're dealing with us. But here's my thing though. Let me be the devil's advocate on that one. Because when you go to white people's establishment and then they do what the fuck they want to do, we don't question that.
Nothing.
Period.
And for me, especially with the steak 48 thing, let's talk about it. I love food. Let me tell you something. I will pay $100 or more to eat some food. I'm not one of them people. I eat. Well, my daughter eat, right? Mm-hmm. But what I won't allow somebody to do is dictate how I'm going to spend my motherfucking money.
Let me tell you.
That's just what I'm not saying I won't go to Steak 48. I'm not saying I won't eat there.
You're not missing nothing.
But what I'm saying is I don't want anybody to tell me or dictate how I spend. Even when I get my nails done.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you. I'm glad you brought that up because of being a chef for 25 years and working at some of the top restaurants downtown. Mm-hmm. First of all, it's not about any of their restrictions as a restaurant, and it's about one thing: feeding the people.
Right.
And that's what Steak 48 took out of that, is feeding the people.
Right.
Me and Nia both actually was the first hires at Steak 48
before it opened, before it even started building.
She was hired as a host.
Wow.
And I was hired as a meat cutter.
Wow.
Okay. When the pandemic started, they both got laid off, obviously. Me and the chef had some discrepancies on when I was going to start. I told them thank you and refused the position,
right?
Because they really came off to be a very arrogant company from the Midwest who knew nothing about Philadelphia. When you open a restaurant here in Philadelphia, you have to do some research.
You better do the research.
Okay, because I opened up Ocean Prime. Mm-hmm. I also worked at Maggiano's and I worked at Palm.
Yes.
Those are some of the top restaurants here in the city.
In the city, yes,
period.
Yes.
And we don't have any restrictions on anyone. We don't care if you smell like marijuana. The only restriction may be a t-shirt, a shirt.
Yeah, change
that's obvious. Right. You don't want to come into a restaurant in shorts and a t-shirt.
And some flip-flops.
But what you do with Steak 48 does is they now have secluded themselves from a clientele in Philadelphia, such as our athletes, our rappers, and many other people that spend a lot of money in this city and don't like for a place to tell them what they can wear. We went on their website. They have over 11 restrictions on their website. Everything from offensive odors such as strong cologne to marijuana to cleavage.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they go down the line. They're the first restaurant in the city of Philadelphia to have these restrictions that look like this targeted among African Americans.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, and I find that offensive. When we go out, we spend whatever. I don't really care because you go out, you have the expectations on spending the money, but I also have the expectations of great service and food.
Right. Right.
One of the reasons why I got
a lot of people love this food, though. I'm like, a lot of people are like, yeah, this food is the best food.
Let me tell you something. It takes very little to impress our people.
Do you know why it tastes so good? Because they spent so much money for it.
No, because you high.
No. No. They spent so much money for it. And when they take a picture in front of the Steak 48 picture in their Fashion Over Best,
shut the hell up.
They get the most likes that they've gotten. Do not play with me, okay? Now listen, I am friends, okay, with all of the 20-somethings that have been going, dropping their babies off at their baby daddy house, going to the girls' night out, all right? Fashion Over Best. As soon as it went on clearance.
IG models, become IG models.
As soon as it went on clearance, overnight. Don't play, okay? So listen here. But I just think it was very pretentious, and even though people were saying like it was targeted towards black people, it's even the white people in South Philly who are just like, what's wrong with y'all? Like, and don't get me wrong, them white folks,
it's some yellow ass white folks in South Philly though.
People, they have cleavage hanging out.
I was about to say
saying hello, so they I don't think they roll off the subway.
I was about to just say, as a point though, a lot of those South Philly Italian
girls and stuff like they are busted out.
Yes.
So they were kind of not directing just that cleavage shit to us. So I just want to put that out there.
But here's the question.
That's small few though.
Who's at the door to say that a black lady dressed the same way? We're going to say, no, you're not properly dressed. And then you have a white woman dressed the same way and you're going to let them in.
There it
Right.
is.
Now, if I see that I would definitely speak up
some
on that
of my
shit.
top
like,
spenders at the Palm
Susie.
restaurant
She got titties
who
out.
were millionaires would come into the restaurant in a t-shirt and a pair of Levi's. And they were millionaires.
You know why?
Because they felt comfortable like that.
Yeah.
A restaurant accepts almost all in. You're spending money and we need your business and we want you to make you feel comfortable. Why go somewhere where you're going to feel uncomfortable and you're judged before you come through the front door? So if you want an Instagram pic and we go there and have the whole kitchen talk about you, or you be judged at the front door, then go on to Steak 48 and waste your money. But there's 125 other restaurants.
I was about to say, because Chima's is my spot. I love me some
chef-owned restaurants in the city that are Zagnet rated. Because I
don't want y'all coming.
And better ratings than Steak 48.
I don't want nobody just popping up on me at no restaurant like, NEEN, we seen you was on the Instagram talking about you had Chima's. No, I don't. Why are you posting where you're eating at? Like, when me and my daughter are out, we do post pictures like that because that's me and my daughter's thing. But when I'm out like going to eat with my girls and stuff, I'm not posting where we're at. I don't want people to really know what I'm doing besides the shit that I want them to know that I'm doing.
We'll go on vacation and post pics when we're home.
And then you bring the pictures on. Now, when I was in Vegas, I did post a few, but nobody really saw really what I did in Vegas. I did pictures that benefit.
So I actually,
what I'm doing as
I
an
actually
artist
did the same
like
thing.
that.
We actually, you actually know Queen. We actually just came back from Vegas a couple weeks ago.
Vegas. Can we go back?
When you want to go? When you want to go?
ASAP.
When you want to stay?
I want to drive to Vegas.
Yes, cross country.
Yes, because I really did not like riding on that flight. Oh, my back was like
we had a emergency landing
on the way back.
So yeah, we can drive. I'm definitely down to drive. I drive.
For me, Queen, I was trying to, kind of vlog our trip. I was trying to try something new. I'm not great with taking pictures, and I didn't do a great job of it. Just know that, a lot of people didn't see Vegas. They saw like little things I thought were interesting, but the people of my close friends on Instagram, they're the ones who actually saw like the whole shebang that I thought was interesting because they had never been or just my first time and all the new things that I had to do. So it's funny how like what you said, like I did post a lot of things, but it was only towards those close friends, which is like my mom, my brother, my sister, that I'm safe. But if I'm good,
I'm not posting that I'm at a shaky butt. I'm not posting that I'm at this. I'm not going to do any of that because personally, I don't need people shunning me or hating on nothing that I'm doing when I'm doing what I'm doing. So I definitely can't give you no ammunition. And not to say, but social media has gotten to a place where it's fucking up relationships.
I just want to say, you're going to have a topic talking about how Instagram has totally distorted any views of reality and whatsoever.
Period. And
it has turned people into objects
instead of humans.
So much of wanting for a pic or changing the way they look or just doing so much for likes. And that's when I think when you stop focusing on reality, you start focusing on fantasy, then you're going to kind of get lost on exactly who you are. I see some people on Instagram and I meet them in real life and walk right by them. I don't know who the hell they are.
You're like, they're like, you don't remember me? Like, who are you?
Because your pic and you are two different people. Or you post your middle school pic.
And my whole thing is like, I'm known. I do music. I've been bartending for 16 years. I know damn near the city. Like I know a lot of people. I try to. That's why I chill. I don't be out like I want to. And when I do go out, I go to places that I don't want to be around the people that get on my fucking nerves at the bar. Like, and I got a lot of people that treat me good at the bar, but there's a lot of people that are fucking annoying and you don't want to be sitting next to them. You don't want to go through hearing them whining about getting drinks and shit when you had 20 shots already. Certain shit I just don't. And even in white situations too, like, let me not go there. Even there, I don't want to hear them complaining about this person took too long. Or I want to go somewhere where I know it's going to be fun. So I find those places where people are fucking happy. And that's my goal. Every year I say I'm going to find a new. When I went to Vegas, I didn't even really spend any money. Shout out to S5 and Nikki the GOAT. They took care of me in Vegas. Like, and shout out to Nikki Hustle.
Mm-hmm.
I was good. I didn't even have to buy marijuana in Vegas. This is how good I was.
Large amount of money.
Next time you go, you better take me.
And this is what I tell everybody. I'm like, listen, I have so many people that love me in the United States of America and maybe overseas. I don't know any of my friends that's overseas, but people really dig me because I give energy to people. I'm like this, hey boo, hey baby, hey love, hey this. I'm always trying to throw sweet things at you and love at you because I believe that when I do that, I'm putting that into you to let you know that I care. I want you to feel good when you're around me. You know what I mean? And I don't want you to feel like when you're around me, you got to be all nonchalant. I don't want that from any relationship. I don't want a man to feel like that, my child to feel like that. So when I go places, I have people in every hood. I'm good. I could go to Cali right now. I have a cousin out there. I have friends from Cheney out there. I have friends from Cheney in Arizona,
that's
in Vegas.
That's how it should be. You shouldn't be limited to one area, one city. You have one life. You're supposed to live it. Go out and see the world. Yeah. There's some people in North Philly that haven't seen
never South Philly. Left North Philly.
And you have not seen any parts of South Philly.
They don't even know. If you were like, yo, meet me at Mifflin Street, they'd be like, what the fuck is Mifflin Street?
Yeah, Google it.
Who? And you know, I'm a Google queen, but let me tell y'all something. I know Philly like the back of my motherfucking hand. I drives this motherfucking city.
You should
baby, my dude tries to make me his chauffeur any chance he gets. He be like, you driving? Yeah, I drive. Because he knows, he called me speed demon. I don't speed. I just get the fuck away from you non-driving ass drivers. I had a lady roll her window down at me today laughing because somebody cut me off to stop in front of me where it's empty in front of them to get over to the right lane.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I beat my horn and cursed them the fuck out. The lady next to me is cracking up because she sees me cursing her out. I rolled my window down. I was like, you see me cursing them out? She was like, yeah, that was a dickhead move. It was just like, why would you? What are we doing out here? But I think it's the patience. We have lack of patience. I think a lot of relationships are distorted, like we were saying, and people are unaware of who they like. So you're moving so frantically, or you just everything is. And when you have time and you just really calm, cool, collect. I listen to smooth jazz when I drive.
Well, it's a lot of pressures with relationships, especially Black relationships, because like I said, we're not meant to stay together. Black families have been attacked from day one.
Yep.
So when you have a race that literally have been based on trying to separate us, I mean, and it's kind of hard to have a mother and a father, in a family situation. I'm from a broken home, just like probably just a lot of us, and that creates that environment itself. You may hear negativity from your mom about Black men all the time because of the fathers that aren't there to take care of these children. So now as Black boys, we start hearing negative comments about Black men early in our developmental stages. So now as Black men, what do you really expect from us? So it's very, very hard.
Yep.
People understand that us being African American or Black, whatever title you want to give yourself, it's especially hard for us here in America.
Definitely is.
And I'm saying in America because over in Africa and some parts overseas, it's not as hard.
It's not as hard.
They don't have
to
this
be a
racism.
Black man.
They don't view us this way. It's here in America.
They treat Black men like kings.
Yes. And the reason why we're treated that
like
way
kings
here in America is because we're not supposed to be here. We were born here as slaves, as captives.
Yeah, we're foreign to this land.
And that's why they've been killing us from day one, just like they're killing us now.
Right. They just don't want us to inherit what we deserve because we built it.
And the crazy part is the more we cultivate those relationships, the more we make them stronger and find out who we are, the better we become and the stronger we become. Prime example. Okay. I should have pulled out the article so I could give more pivotal information, but there are a group of Black professional families that have come together, bought land down south and decided to build their own, almost like community. Black Wall Street community.
Yeah.
And you know what happened to Black Wall Street?
Absolutely. But this is the difference this time. These Black families and black people have guns registered to them and their land, and it is okay for them to have it. So I'm just saying, but they
one thing
about them that the example that they're showing into their kids, like what they did was after they bought the land, they like camped out in the land, like roughed it, just to, wake up on your land. It's yours. You know what I mean? And to build something, they want to start everything over for Black people. You know what I mean? And it starts with, having a school, having a police station, having these fundamental foundations.
I was about to say, I can go into Malachi Z. York. Years ago, he built pyramids and all kinds of shit in Georgia. They were so afraid of what the fuck he was doing in there. They came down inside his grounds on helicopters. They dropped into this shit like it was a fucking movie. Like, because they are so petrified of, when we get knowledge, we are so aware of knowledge itself. Black people, when we get that information in our hands, we become more enlightened, and it fucks with them because we know love is the higher power. We have compassion. So these people really were so obsessed with, because remember, it was more science that came into. Malachi Z. York came out. Elijah Muhammad and them was coming out. All of these Black leaders were coming out, and they were showing people a new way to just be one with yourself. Not to say that religion is the best thing to do, but I'm just saying they gave our people an avenue to find yourself. And when this man did this shit and built these pyramids, they really, really set it off on this man as if he had guns of weapons of mass destruction. Mm-hmm. All he had was books. That's all he had. Books and knowledge and a whole bunch of, that's the train, y'all. We definitely are in Philly. Welcome. The train runs through the whole city. But yes, y'all, it's really a real situation.
Wait, that's the actual train?
That's a real train riding through. It's that train that goes to Woodland Avenue, and you see it there. It's that train.
Not a lot.
Shout out to the train.
It's funny that you mentioned the pyramids in Georgia. I watched a special film about that and never knew it.
Yeah.
I said there was pyramids in Georgia.
Pyramids in Georgia.
And that's...
See, look, they even know it's pyramids in Georgia.
And that's because information equals power. Mm-hmm. History is so important to us. That's why they keep it from us. We had more history about ourselves and more knowledge about ourselves, we would be definitely acting differently.
Okay. Well, you already know what it is, y'all. We definitely are at the ending mark of this situation, but I'm so thankful that you guys came through because y'all made the show go by as fast as possible, just like that train going by. It's been real. Like, but before I end, I have a crystal clear thought, and I just want to talk about relationships. And my crystal clear thought is, if you have a relationship with someone that you know is for you, then always do what you can to build that person up so they can continue to make you feel the way you feel about them. Because the less you pay that attention to that person, the more you bring in confusion into your relationships. And that's to say all relationships, not just your intimate relationship, but your friendships and everything. You have to be transparent and let people know exactly how you're feeling without making them feel less of a person, and it's always that when you talk to somebody in a favorable tone, and I was taught this, Noble Drew Ali, rest in peace, I shade of your spirit. When you speak in a favorable tone, you get a favorable reply. So when you need to have conversations, have them at a level where you both can talk and hear one another out so that y'all can move forward and be great in your relationship so y'all can build your empire. And that's just how I see it fit for myself. And I want to reflect that to the world. I love you guys so much for tuning in.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thoughts with Queen NEEN. Thank you, Trey and Nia. We come by anytime. We can always bust it up. Next time you come, you definitely got to bring some food. Like we got to do a smorgasbord. I'll do a taste testing. We can definitely do that.
Mini mukbang.
Definitely do a mukbang, and I definitely want to do a ASMR one too. So I'm definitely so like I have my whole voice ready for that. So I'm all into that. But right now, I just want everybody to know, make sure you check them out on Instagram at Chef Trey Unique Sweets, and make sure that y'all holla at them if you need a private chef to cater your medicinal needs, because that mac and cheese, baby, you ain't ready for it. You ain't ready for no ribs with that special sauce. But I love you guys for tuning in. Shout out to A Radio Philly. Thank you again. The GOAT in the building. We out. We are out. Thank you. We already say 708. I got here. Yeah, I already did it. Y'all got a couple more minutes. Philly said I'm not out, y'all. So I got to do what the boss said. The boss said I ain't out. You want me? How long do I have, Philly? Let me know.
Oh,
no, I got you. I got you. How long I got?
We always have something.
How long I got?
Absolutely. Well, that again, you know, you're as chef
20 more minutes.
Well, Philly,
20 more minutes.
Philly said 20 more minutes.
20. So 7:31. All right, so guys, I'm not out. Don't leave. Don't go nowhere.
Don't
We still
out,
here. I looked at the clock. It says 7:11. I thought I was over, but I just remembered you said go through the whole hour. My bad. I got you. So we're back. So now let's start. I got you. Yep. So listen, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and go to a different part of this segment. We're gonna get out of the relationships, and we're gonna talk about music. I want to get into something that everybody's been talking about. DMX has a new album out. Have we heard the new album?
Wait. Ain't he dead?
He's definitely dead.
No, I actually have not heard the new DMX.
So it's a ghost album?
DMX has an album out, and my whole thing was, really? Is this what's going on? Singers, actors, rappers are dying, then they put out their work?
So,
well, yeah, if they owe money, probably, yeah.
No.
In my opinion, okay,
DMX was actually, he didn't owe anybody shit.
No.
DMX was actually, he started his own thing. He cut ties with Interscope, Rough Riders, and all of that.
It wasn't about money, but what happens is a lot of these artists is when they pass, they have a lot of unedited and unreleased music. Mm-hmm. So when you're in the studio, you run a lot of tracks, and the producers pick out what they obviously want to compose that album, and they leave out certain tracks. Mm-hmm. DMX been producing music now for what, about almost 10 years.
Right.
So this guy's probably about 50 tracks that has never been heard.
Unreleased tracks. Right.
Yes, and that's where they get that from his catalog, from there.
My thing is, the money though, is it gonna go back to his family?
Well, I heard that
estate.
Jay-Z bought the rights to his music, I think, because I don't want to misquote anything, but and what I heard was Jay-Z bought the rights to his music or whatever, and then gave the family the money. Yeah, so I heard something like that because Jigga's been doing a lot of
he got money.
Jay, shout out to Jay-Z because back in the day I would have never thought that this Jay-Z that we see today, but that goes into evolving. Evolving is definitely something we need to do in life because it makes you a grander person. Like for him to, even when the young guy, what's his name? It's 21 Savage. Even when 21 Savage went to jail and all that, Jay-Z, boom. When Meek Mills went through his situation, Jay-Z was on. So I'm like, okay, I see that he's really like, yo, they trying to do certain things to our black men. I'm gonna have their backs. And that's kind of decent to me, but I'm from Philly and Beanie Siegel and all of that.
I was about to say that we have now, with every positive, we have a couple of negatives.
Right.
And, and Jay-Z did come in Philadelphia and invest in a lot of rappers.
Yes.
And did absolutely nothing
with them.
Now in Jay-Z's corner, a lot of these rappers were unmarketable. It's hard to put Beanie Siegel in a concert if you're getting locked up every 3 months and you're on probation. So that's what stopped a lot of guys. I mean, Freeway to me was extremely talented, and it still is extremely talented.
Definitely.
And a lot of them fell along with this Rockefeller train that went absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, Freeway's actually doing he does a lot of stuff in the hood for the Urban Affairs Coalition. I think I'm saying that correct.
Just think how talented he is. He could be known.
But they all could be the whole state property. Yes. I think I'm also one of them people when you name yourself certain things.
Yeah,
I feel like that you tie yourself to the meanings, and because words carry power, and I feel like when you say things, you cast spells. If you say, "Yo, I hate this person," or you keep with intent of hate, then you're
putting that energy out there. You're putting that energy out there,
right? So for me, I feel like once you start state property and you name yourself a certain, and I love Beanie Siegel, that's my fucking guy or whatever. But I was young when he came out, and I wish I could have told Beans the things that I was thinking today. and or knew that I was going to be in this lane of where I'm at today as far as marketing, because he really had it. He was the Biggie to Jay-Z, like Biggie was the Puffy. He was that, and if nobody recognized that, he really allowed Jay-Z to come in Philly and blow up.
Yeah, it's about,
and people can argue me down about that, but I'm being real. Like, Jay-Z was good, and Reasonable Doubt was one of my favorite albums. But when State Property became a part of, when he was accessible to this Philly energy, his whole flow, him and Chris, you can't
changed.
tell me.
Yeah.
To me, I feel like Young Chris and him had that same. So I'm like, maybe he got it from Young Chris, or Young Chris got it from him. Either way, they had this similar style, and I'm like, or this swag just dripped off, and he couldn't help it. You know what I mean? But and I'm not taking that from you, Jigga, because I fucking love you. But what I'm saying is, I felt like Philly was the life support for Rockefeller, and I don't know how it got fucked up. Like, that part there.
It's a lot of parts. What a lot of people don't understand also is that Jay-Z came to Philadelphia a lot because one of his producers was Chad West.
Chad West, dude, I've been there.
Who's also I've been knowing Chad West since he was 11 because he played tennis with my brother and my uncle was his tennis coach.
That's dope.
So I've been knowing this kid before when he was in elementary school. And seeing how he took the path of training himself, going to school, and then getting signed with Rockefeller Records.
That's fire.
So you have a lot of Philadelphia connections with Jay-Z's success that not a lot of people even know about. Chad West produced.
Yeah, I went to Chad West studio.
A lot of hits for Jay-Z.
I went to Chad West studio. It was Petey Craig's homecoming. MTV was filming it, and my homegirl from New York was like, "Yo, I'm going to the studio because my peoples work for MTV." Because she's connected with Essence, her godmom Susan Taylor. So I'm, I ain't trying to name drop, but my homegirl, she well connected. So she was like, we're gonna go to the studio. Lo and behold, it's Chad West studio. But I'm already cool with Beans because I'm from South Philly and I know Mac. But to be in the studio with Petey, Young Chris and Neve, Oskino and Sparks, and to listen to Chad West make a fucking beat and them go in on this beat, it was so magical. And that's why I knew that rapping was my forte. I knew, because I wanted to get on the beat. I wanted to run in the room like, let me get on this joint right here. But I had to remain calm and be a lady and just enjoy what door I was able to walk through. Because like he said, he knew Chad West all his life. Me just seeing him in his fucking element, it took me to a place where I was like, damn. And I wasn't with Beans and them. I got there on behalf of my homegirl. So I felt so, like, oh my God, I'm a part of the motherfucking rock. This shit popping. But that goes to show you that, like, that energy was here in Philly. Philly was really shutting the radio stations down. Like the freestyles, all of that. Like Philly had the music scene on smash in that little bit of time that Jay-Z got with Beanie Siegel stay. But Jay-Z still flew off because he was evolving in his music, and you can hear his growth. So people who are evolving in life automatically flock to him. You know what I mean? Where you hear these people talking about killing niggas all day, you're not going to flock to that unless that's what you do. So you're going to kind of ease off to what you hear, because Jay-Z's not saying he's doing this shit. He's saying this is what I used to do, what I could do, but now I'm a businessman. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm a mogul now. I'm a billionaire.
You know what's crazy? Is that I don't think the Philadelphia rap scene ever recouped from that.
I don't think we did.
Now look, think of all the talent we have, and then look on the top 20 and think how many Philly.
I feel like our name is tainted.
Even the top 50.
Meek Mills is the only one from
Meek
the
Mills,
city.
That's it, buddy.
That's it.
And we're a large city full of talented rappers.
My God.
We never recouped from that era. I don't know why.
State property.
And it's not just Philadelphia. I'm gonna tell you, I lived in DC.
Oh no, they're definitely DC too.
Baltimore. And now the problem.
Some parts of New York.
Yes. And now what's sad is that the rap and hip hop culture has been destroyed.
Definitely.
Been completely destroyed. I don't know. The music's being played now. Back in the day, would never gotten on the radio.
Exactly.
DJs would have never.
They would have trashed it. They would have threw that shit away.
We played Philadelphia and New York and East Coast artists. We would never play nothing from down south.
Nope.
All this auto tune, no lyrics, no bars.
No,
hip hop and rap is being completely destroyed. Buy the radio.
Buy the radio.
If you're not marketable and if you don't sound like what's popular now, you're not getting signed. I don't care how talented you are.
That's why you got to do the independent shit. Like I got a few tracks on Apple Music that, you know, if, you know, I wanted to be signed or whatever, I would have to wait, go through procedures and all of that shit just to get my music played. But where now you can be independent and you can do your own thing and get your music put on Apple Music and Spotify and all of those things without having to go through these fucking slimy ass labels. Because at the end of the day, if you're not really about the artist or telling them the truth that their music fucking sucks, then I don't even want you on my team anyway, because you're not a truth teller. I don't even want you to help me make music, because if I write a suck ass song, you gonna let me spin that shit. And I don't want to be a part of that. So for me, and the music for me, it sucks. I can't lie. They're not talking about shit. And the things that they are talking about, I do it already. I've been there, done that already. And nobody gives a fuck about that. And when I rap, you know, and I tried to dumb it down to that shit, I always wind up on back to a journey of talking about me and evolving and getting enlightenment and things like that. But yeah, I'll dumb my raps down just to get to a certain I guess generation, to get to a certain generation of children and let them know, like, look, you can make rap whatever. Rap is like acting. These are actors. They're not really rapping their real lives, because if they was, they'd be like, damn, I lost my house, I lost my kid, I lost my they're not rapping about that. They're lying, saying they're at the club popping bottles with bitches. They're lying.
What's sad is that, you know, imagery is very important.
Yes.
And now what we're dealing with,
Dealing
with imagery and what you see. And then now it's being mimicked by our society. And they dumbed us down.
Yeah.
You have our women walking around here, multicolored hair, trying to be straight. I remember back in the day, people didn't even associate themselves with strippers.
Right.
And now that's the hottest thing ever.
Yep. Stripping
Hottest
is
thing
the
ever.
way. And I ain't taking that from you ladies who go out and you really out there grinding for your kids and shit like that. Fuck that. Because I always in my mind, I'm a stripper. I just want y'all to know that in my mind. I have a certain song come on in my mind, I am stripping to the song. I don't care what nobody say. But I get what you're saying though. It wasn't to the forefront where it wasn't accepted, because it was like, oh, you stripping? What if your uncle or your dad or your brothers, or what if they come in there and see you in there stripping? But what we had to realize was that what was going on, women were stepping outside of the homes where they had to take care of the kids more, because of the thing we talked about with relationships with daddies and stuff like that, because they've been breaking our families down for years. This is years of work they have been doing to break us the fuck apart. So now that it's really hitting us, women are going out saying, fuck it, I gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta make some money. I gotta take care of these kids. And I see all the men like me, so I'm gonna go this route.
Well,
some girls is actually just straight out selling ass.
That one portion, yeah.
Yeah. Some are straight on the streets, like
men have been enjoying pleasures and entertainment of women from day one.
Right.
So that's not even to be shunned upon.
Right.
The problem is if you're going to use that person that's out there trying to get their money and use them as a role model, as someone that actually puts on a costume at night and makes herself and puts on a performance you're trying to be like. And that's a problem.
You don't want your daughter
to
be idolizing that. You know what I mean? Because now you don't see the doctors, the lawyers. Remember back in the day, I used to always want to be a lawyer when I was little. I got the gift of gab. Everybody knows that. But I used to want to be a lawyer when I was little. I used to be like, Mom, I could be a lawyer. She'd be like, well, you know, you got to go to law school. I'm like, law school? How many more years of school is that?
You had a female role model. You probably had someone.
Yeah, my Aunt Jackie was a lawyer.
You had someone to look up to that I wanted to be like. Now imagine having a family with no one like that.
That's real. That's real.
The only accomplishment is a high school diploma.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
You got a high school diploma.
And because Jackie was in our lives, because she was made our godmoms and everything, we all the girls went to college. We all graduated college. So that is so real. And the crazy, this part of it right here, that part of it is, I never realized that until you just said it right here. The epiphany that just hit me was, I was always looking at my Aunt Jackie, because to this day, I talk about her home her as a person.
Yeah.
She got the little mini mansion. She got a pool in her backyard with the jacuzzi.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was always, I love y'all. They over there direct. That's what directors do now. That's how you direct the show. I always wanted to be at my Aunt Jackie house. I always talked about Aunt Jackie. I'm like, Aunt Jackie, the shit. Like, y'all don't even know my Aunt Jackie got a fucking swimming pool. She got a jacuzzi. And I wanted to that. Until this day, that's what the fuck I want.
You have a goal. We all
that goal will never leave me.
A goal to work forward to. If you wake up with no goal, then you are lifeless.
Yes, come on.
You have no meaning of life. You wake up every day and supposed to have a goal and strive to accomplish that goal.
Period.
And if you don't have someone in your family to look up to, then you're going to have to go outside your family and get a role model to look up to. You're going to need someone to say, how did you get to where you're at? And to help you along that way.
Right.
And if your role model is a rapper or a drug dealer, then you're going to end up just like them. Mm-hmm. Period. It needs to be a positive role model.
Straight up.
I may not have a father really in my life and out of my life, but I had grandfathers who I could look up to and who were successful.
Right.
And I said, who embedded in me qualities of a man.
Right.
And I feel sorry for kids
that
do not have that and grow up in a household of women and don't have any positive male role models
enforcement
at all. And the imagery that they're seeing on a daily basis is negative. And the music they're listening to also is negative.
Crazy,
if you want to know why we're killing each other and we're running around the streets angry, that's one of the reasons why.
Period. And this is and now we're really going to end the show, but since we got into the music part of that, and I just want to say this: if you're not monitoring what these kids are, my daughter listens to music. She likes to dance, but I definitely monitor how she listens to music because the messages create the imagery that these children think that they should be a part of, and it appropriates them to want to be a part of that type of culture or whatever the fuck that song was talking about. Sometimes they don't need to. Children are too fragile, they're too connected to the source for you to be trying to fuck with that. And people who fuck with that source when they're that young usually catch the bad end of that stick. So I'm saying, you know, as my crystal clear thought on this portion of what we're talking about is we have to be aware of what we're entertaining in our minds, because songs are something everybody listen to music. And if you're listening to certain songs, you can be affected by it. I listen to a lot of love music. Sometimes I be wondering why I'm extra horny and shit. It's because I done listened to Jodeci all fucking day. And he was talking about he was going to cry and stuff. I was like, well, then cry then. You know what I'm saying? So I'm being real honest about music. I love music. I listen to smooth jazz when I drive because I'm usually, you know, medicinal doubt. So I'm like, yo, I got to be cool, calm, and collected because I got to see what the fuck is going on around me because you people act crazy when y'all drive. But in actuality, I know that music has an influence in my life, and it changes my moods. I can listen to a song and cry and be like, oh my God, damn, what the fuck? I wasn't ready to cry.
What's crazy is that's everybody.
That's me. That's me.
What's crazy to everyone. Our radio stations have something called Arbitron. It's a computer that rotates songs on a regular basis out of all of our 3 major radio stations.
Right.
The reason why that computer plays like that is to program songs in your head for you to go buy these songs. And if all these songs are negative, talking about killing us and talking about girls having a hot summer, let me tell you something, it's going to be rough.
I want to have a hot summer. I'm trying to have a hot girl summer. Yo, I really appreciate y'all. Like I said, man, listen, Radio, I want to give a shout out to Philly once again, man. I appreciate you because we are doing this from the muscle, and we really want the community to know that we are here and we got a voice and we want to talk to you. I want to give a shout out to the LGBTQ community and let them know that we got y'all backs too. We always rocking and rolling because it's all about love. Love is the higher power, and we are feeding the communities. We're doing everything we can do to make sure that people know that we're here and we're going to make a staple in the community. And this will be the empire you will know. Radio. I'm your girl, Queen NEEN. This is Crystal Clear Thoughts. My guy, Trey. My girl, Nia. And we out of this joint. Peace.
the ball. Come on. Yeah. He wanna fuck with a queen. Yeah. Yeah. He wanna fuck with a queen. Yeah. Here she come in. A millie at the bar like the rock here. All black Benny, how I got here. A bitch is on the rise like I'm hot here. You ain't gotta have my back, I got a lot there. Making papers what I'm into. Learned again from all the shit I've been through. Street life got me sharper than a Ginsu. Gotta grind hard, bills due, rent due. You see me looking yummy in a video. I see you looking bummy like a silly hoe. They mad that my pockets all grown up. These hoes should be sitting in a donut. Hold up, lights on me like a light pole.